Focal TV, bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of issues happening in Liberia and the rest of the world. Focal TV, with check and balance, we bring it as it unfolds. Focal TV, bringing you face to face with newsmakers in town. Focal TV, the best online platform in broadcasting. Focal TV, located at Topo Village, Somalia Drive, Liberia. Be the part and experience the best in online broadcasting. Keep Focal.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to Focal Online TV, where we bring you the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. This morning, I am your presenter on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media, and my name is Greg Financy Par. I'm here along with my co-presenter. His name is Kia Lyndon Sopa is my co-presenter here on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. Today is Friday, August 11, 2023. I'm saying happy weekend to you out there, folks. If you are watching us live from the diaspora, a pleasant good morning, good evening, good afternoon due to your geographical location. This morning, I'm officially welcoming you to the Focal Online TV, where we bring innovation to broadcasting. This is the daily edition of Inside the Print Media that is being run here from Monday to Friday from 10 a.m. to 10:45 a.m. So let's look at our daily revision of newspapers here in studio. We have the Daily Observer newspaper, we have the Front Page Africa newspaper, we have the Independent Probe newspaper, we have the New Dawn newspaper, and internationally, our source for the day is ABC News. So stay with us as we take a short break. When we get back, we begin with our headlines and news in details under the Daily Observer newspaper. Thanks for watching. Please share our live stream where we bring this important information about our country and the world at large through the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. Thanks for watching. Okay, welcome back, folks. Welcome back to the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. So we will run straightly to the Daily Observer newspaper. The headlines reads: Election campaign gets bloody. Election campaign gets bloody. Election tension in Liberia reached a boiling point as clashes erupted between supporters of President George Weah and his main political rival, Joseph Boakai. The violent brawl occurred in Montserrat County Electoral District 9 on Thursday, August 10, leaving multiple people injured and raising concerns about the fate of the Farmington Peace Accord, which frowned against electoral acts of violence. Eyewitnesses at the scene described the clashes as chaotic and intense. Supporters of both candidates reportedly hurled stones and other projectiles at each other, creating a scene of utter chaos in the district. Supporters of both Weah and Boakai, according to eyewitnesses, gathered at the Vamuma Junction to wait for their candidates who had scheduled campaign events in the same districts. This comes amidst days of growing tension after some supporters of the president have paraded the street with a casket plastered with images of Boakai, leading to a rebuke from the public. In a release, the Unity Party laid the violence squarely on the shoulders of the president's supporters who they claimed blocked the motorway of Boakai at Vamuma Junction while he was en route to his party's campaign headquarters in District Number 9. When en route, to the United Party National Campaign headquarters as previously planned and scheduled. The entourage of the UP standard bearer encountered a massive traffic jam caused by the unexpected and unexplained activities of the CDC, said Mohammed Ali Waka campaign spokesman. Partisans and militants of the CDC disrupted activities of UP partisans who had gathered at Famuma to welcome their standard bearer, he added. Ali noted that the Unity Party was forced to postpone Bwaka engagement at the campaign headquarters to avoid violent confrontation and with respect to the Farmington Declaration. The UP Alliance calls the attention of the National Election Commission to this constant disruptive behavior of CDC, he said. We also called on all our international partners to caution the CDC to abide by the Farmington Declaration. However, the spokesman or the spokesperson of the Riyadh re-election rebuffed Ali's claim and instead blamed the Unity Party for the violence. According to Councillor Kanye Bala, the president's presence in Electoral District 9 had been pre-announced a week ago on various national media platforms and communicated to the National Election Commission. In spite of the prior announcement, the Unity Party was seeking to provoke violence by deliberately ignoring the CDC prevailing campaign scheduled by going ahead to plan their event on the same day, Bala argued. As a consequence of the irresistible and irresponsible and violent action of the Unity Party, partisans of the Coalition for Democratic Change were brutalized by Unity partisans during today's activities, he said. Bala, like Ali, then called the attention of the National Election Commission and Liberia's partners to the flagrant provocation from the Unity Party urging their timely intervention. The Augustine violence comes about 2 days after the ECOWAS mission in Liberia warned politicians to refrain from divisive and incendiary politics and adhere to issue-based campaign. In this regard, we call on all political parties as key stakeholders in an equitable and peaceful election to exercise restraint and foster an issue-based campaign that speaks to the aspiration of Liberians, the mission added. We now move over to the headline under the Delos of the newspaper. Two Nigerians jailed for hijacking Chinese ship. Two Nigerians for hijacking Chinese ship. The news is two Nigerians hijacking a Virgin ship, Ngatu, had been sent to prison after making their first court appearance in court in Monrovia on August 10. The pair, who was arrested on July 22 by the Armed Forces of Liberia AFL Coast Guard, was ordered to, to remain and be remanded at the Monrovia Central Prison by Disciplinary Magistrate Ben Paraco as they await the indictment and imminent prosecution. Suspect Michael Oputa and Tatas Izena are expected to be tried on the commission of the crimes of piracy, armed robbery, theft of property and criminal conspiracy as well charged by the Liberian National Police. Under the Liberian law, armed robbery is a non-bailable offense of which the accused were reminded. Kidnap attack, also against ships for ransom, have been become common in the Gulf of Guinea, which runs from Senegal to Angola, taking in the southwest coast of Nigeria. In the case of Oputa and Izina, according to the Liberian police, they were arrested between the Liberian and Sierra Leone waters on July 24. According to a court document, suspects Oputa and Izina were part of a gang of individuals that allegedly attacked the Shinga 2 fishing vessel with 6 Chinese and 17 Sierra Leonean crew members who were on board the vessel that was rescued by the Liberian Coast Guard. Explaining the ordeal during the investigation, one of the victims, Latin, alleged that he and his crew members were attacked while fishing between the Liberian and Sierra Leonean waters. According to Guo, Oputa, and Izina were among several individuals that physically attacked him, leaving him and his crew members to sustain bodily harm and losses of valuable property and cash. Guo told the investigators that on July 22 at 10 a.m., while he and his crew members were aboard the vessel on the Sierra Leone side of the water, where they normally carry out their fishing businesses, suddenly a small speedboat with some unknown men armed with weapons, pistols, and rifles came straight to their vessel. Later, the unknown men started firing and they immediately got on board two vessels where they randomly fired several rounds before putting them at gunpoint. The unknown men searched us crew members on board the vessel and they took away our monies, properties, among others. The court document quoted Guo. According to the record, the unknown men took full control of Shinga 2 fishing vessel and headed towards the Liberian territorial waters, at which the time the Liberian Coast Guard received a tip-off from the Sierra Leonean Navy that a fishing vessel was hijacked and heading towards Liberia. They said after receiving the tip-off from their Sierra Leonean counterpart, the Liberia Coast Guard immediately launched a search and rescue operation on sea to rescue the Shinga 2 fishing vessel. Unfortunately, the unknown men opened fire at the Liberia Coast Guard, and officers later returned fire and managed to arrest Oputa and Izina. A gunshot live single barrel round, one pistol round, and one navigator that was used during the commission of the crimes piracy and armed robbery were retrieved from them, the court documented and added. According to the police, during the investigation, suspects Oputa and Izena admitted to the commission of the crimes. Besides admitting to the crimes, the suspects informed investigators that many persons got on the speedboat in Sierra Leone and attacked the Shinga 2 fishing vessel. It was our colleagues that took out pistols and rifles and placed the crew members that were on the Shinga 2 vessel under gunpoint and took away their properties, including cash. The suspected pirates were quoted by the court's record. According to the document, Oputa and Izina further informed investigators that when the Liberia Coast Guard responded, their colleagues fired at the Liberia Coast Guard, during which time the officers returned fire, but their colleagues managed to escape and the two of them were arrested. The investigation established that the crimes piracy and armed robbery did occur in the Shinga 2 fishing vessel was seen with bullet marks and the entire vessel was seen ransacked with the herein mentioned property, including cash, was stolen therefrom. The court record quoted the investigative report. It is against this backdrop that the investigation is resolved to charge defendant Tatas Izina with the criminal offenses of criminal conspiracy, piracy, armed robbery, and theft of property, which violated Chapter 10 and 15, Section 10.4, Subchapter C, Section 15.31, Section 15.31, and Section 15.51 of the Revised Penal Code of the Republic of Liberia. The court documents noted. Here, Lyndon Topa is over to you for headlines and news in details as it relates to the front page Africa newspaper.
Thank you, Griffin Asipa, for such a beautiful output this morning. Liberia, front page Africa, 4 Intel UP city clash as venue for political activity conflict. Tensions flared on Thursday. Supporters of the opposition Unity Party clashed with alleged backers of the ruling coalition's Democratic tinge during a campaign rally, leaving several UP supporters injured and prompting accusations of foul play. The incident occurred as a convoy of UP supporters headed to the party's campaign headquarters on the Airfield district now, aiming to kick off an event to announce their final campaign team. The UP alleges that a group of individuals wearing CDC Guardian attacked some of their supporters, leading to violent altercations that injured some of them. Among the victims was Davis B. Road, a 28-year-old UP supporter who recounted the horrible experience. They held us hostage, chopped off my ear, and mercilessly attacked us, Rose said. Our belongings were stolen, and it was a nightmare. Rescue teams were eventually able to intervene, broughting the wounded to a nearby medical medical facility. Unity Party blamed the CDC for the attack for allegedly preventing UP standard bearer Ambassador Joseph Yuma Waka from reaching the campaign headquarters. Waka, who was reportedly delayed in traffic near the ministerial complex, leading to the cancellations of the event. Unity Party condemned the actions of the CDC and labeled them as a recipe for care. They accused the ruling party of contravening the Farmington River Declaration, a pact signed by presidential candidates to ensure peaceful campaign. In response, the We Are Tilo 2023 National Campaign Committee representing the CDC issued a statement denying the allegations. The committee clarified that the campaign activity had been pre-announced and were on the way in other districts well before the Unity Party event was planned. The committee accused the Unity Party of deliberately scheduling the rally to provoke conflict and claimed they had adjusted their own campaign schedule to involve parties. They called on national and international bodies to intervene to ensure peaceful election proceedings. Political tensions have been running high in Liberia as the country gears up for the upcoming elections. The clash of the Unity Party campaign rally highlights the fragility of the political landscape and raises concerns about potential unrest of campaign season intensified. Determined girls based chance to retain WAFU Zone A Women Champions League title. Liberia women champions determined a blowout of the Confederations of African Football Women Champions League qualifiers. The Liberia champions who won WAFU Zone A as champion last year after defeating Senegalese double champions USPA to claim the first ever WAFU Zone Women Champion League created high expectations among local supporters to retain their title they won nearly a year ago but failed to repeat such. But the champion chances of becoming the WAFU champion representatives were dashed following 1-1 draw with Senegalese side AS Dakar Stade Kowa. The, sta- the stalemate placed determined girls who needed a compulsory win in the second game after they were demolished by AS Manan 3-0 in their upcoming fixtures of the bottom of the table. Despite playing on home soil, they have so far recorded 1.5 negative 3 goals from 2 matches played, going to the final fixture against Sierra Leone and Milwaukee Queens. Determined girls added players to their rank in preparations for the tournament. This brings us to the crucials of Front Page Africa back to Grafina for the continuations of local news.
Thanks to you, Kiel Lyndon Topper, for this brilliant output from the front page African newspaper this morning. We now begin again from the Newtown newspaper. CDC denied attacking UP. CDC denied attacking UP. The ruling Coalition for Democratic Change (CDC) campaign team has denied reports that its supporters have attacked and brutalized supporters of the opposition United Party (UP), wounding 4 victims. CDC campaign chair and Liberia Maritime Commissioner Mr. Eugene Nangwe denied the accusations, Thursday night, 10 October 2023, terming them as false and misleading. He clarified that at no time did the CDC or its supporters attack the escort vehicles of Ambassador Bouaka and brutalize partisans of the UP. We didn't attack the UP or brutalize them as they are saying. I saw the communication they wrote to NEC and I want to address it because it's false, the Maritime Commissioner said. Mr. Nangwe said because the CDC wanted peace, it had to postpone its engagement with residents of Montserrat County Electoral District number 9 and visited Electoral District number 10 instead. He noted that it is so surprising for the UP to accuse the ruling party of attacking and brutalizing UP partisans when they were peaceful at the Famuma House Junction. Supporters of the ruling CDC and the opposition Unity Party were involved in violent campaign clashes Thursday, leaving four persons severely wounded as police fired tear gas sinister. The violent clashes began as opposition leader Ambassador Joseph Human Bouaka was en route to his campaign headquarters on the airfield in Singa to name a new batch of members of his 2023 campaign team. The former vice president had to cancel his activities as he left the scene for his dear life. Some local online media platforms reported the incident live Thursday evening. Mr. Bouaka was headed to the UP's airfield office to name a new batch of his party's campaign team when CDC supporters allegedly obstructed the former vice president's escort. In the process, CDC supporters allegedly attacked several UP supporters who were heading to their rescue mission campaign headquarters in the old immigration building in Montserrat County, Electoral District number 9. The CDC supporters who reportedly staged the attack were said to have gathered at the Famuma House on the main Tottenham Boulevard to welcome President George Mani Weah and his entourage in Montserrat Electoral District number 9. The bloody campaign violence came less than a week after partisans of the ruling CDC paraded the principal streets of Monrovia with a casket decorated with photos of Ambassador Bouaka and marched to CDC headquarters. Bouaka remains incumbent President Bria's main rival in the 2023 presidential and legislative election. Both men battled in the 2017 presidential runoff, and Bouaka is back this time, possibly for his last try for the Liberian presidency in a crucial ballot, which is due in just 2 months. There was a stone battle at the UP Rescue Mission campaign office. Police fired tear gas sinister during the incident at the UP campaign office. This is how we move over to another headline under the New Down newspaper. One Burkinabo shoot dead in Nimba. One Burkinabo shot dead in Nimba. A Burkinabo farmer has been shot dead by an unknown person in Electoral District number 6, Nimba County. Reason behind the discharge of firearm is yet to be established, nor the perpetrator arrested. Since 2015 to present, since 2015 to present, huge population of Burkinabes have crossed into Liberia from neighboring Africa coast, roaming in towns and villages in the district. They have been involved in farming, a situation that is now creating tension among citizenry and the foreigners. Report says the Burkinabes entered Liberia via Nimba upon invitation of farmers in Kabli Electoral District 6. Residents of the district from the Liberian side normally cross into Africa to buy goods where they reportedly engage some Burkinabes to become or to come and farm for them in Liberia. The new down gathered that the victim, identified as 25-year-old Binigua Gabor, was allegedly shot by an unknown person in Soju Forest, Nimba, where huge numbers of Burkinabes are currently working. Some of their hosts in the district have been identified as Danison Tia and Daniel Chei, on whose farm they work, but not all citizens welcome their presence in the area. However, those in support of their presence have been providing farmlands to foreigners to plant crops. The Burkinabes are said to be living in the part of Liberia without knowledge of the Liberia Immigration Service officer assigned in the county. They are currently farming in the various forests, planting cash crop, mainly cocoa, that are reportedly ready for harvest. But some of the citizens of Gabli do not want them back on the farm to process their cocoa for market. Weeks ago, Burkina Faso drowned in a river between Liberia and Ivory Coast. However, addressing reporters subsequently, the commander of the Liberia Immigration Service in Nimba, Madam Yeri Dolobe, said less officers alongside the county administration visited the town several times. Commander Dolobe blamed those citizens in search of workers and bringing in the Burkinabes to stop, but it seems that her warnings are being heeded. Few years ago, a land dispute in Gabby led to the death of a youth leader after exchange of fire. This is how we close down on the New Down newspaper. It's over to you, K. Linton Topa, for our headlines and news in details as it relates to the Independent Pope newspaper.
All right, thank you, Reverend Sipa, for such a beautiful coordination of independent newspaper. Airports open options for Niger plotters activate standby force. Airports open option for Niger plotters activates standby force. West African head states have said all options, including the use of force, remain until to resolve constitutional order in Niger after July 26 coup and ordered the activation of a standby force. The remark came as the 15 member economic community of West African states met in Nigeria, Abuja on Thursday for an emergency summit to discuss responses to the last one military takeover in Niger after the coup leader defied the earlier threat to use force restored democracy. In closing remarks, the North pledged to enforce sanctions and travel bans on those preventing the return to power of democratically elected President Mohamed Bazoum. No option is taken off the table, including the use of force as a last resort, said Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu, ECOWAS chair at the end of the summit. We remained steadfast in our commitment to supporting Nigeria in the journey towards peaceful democratic stability, he said. I hope, I hope that through our collective effort we can bring about a peaceful resolution as the roadmap to restoring stability and democracy in Niger. All is not lost yet. Since the July 26 overthrow of Niger democratic leadership, the coup plotters have refused to relinquish power and release the team Bourgeois, ignoring our August 6th deadline from August from airports to reinstate him. The meeting in Abuja began hours after Niger leaders appointed a new interim government. Mohamed Rufai Hadi cited the Secretary General of the government named one minister without specifying any further government plans. After Tinubu spoke, an official communique was read, of which included a resolution asking the bloc, the defense chief, to activate the airport standby force with all elements immediately. Another resolution spoke of ordering the deployment of airport standby force to restore constitutional order in the Republic of Nigeria, immediately followed by another that spoke of restoring such order through peaceful means. ECOWAS defense chief last week drew up plans for possible military interventions in Niger, which the heads of state discussed during Thursday's summit. The summit communique gave no indications of when or what circumstances the deployment within Niger might take place. It is unclear if there were any representatives from Burkina Faso, Guinea, Mali, whose military heads of states have sided with Niger in the summit withdrew from the bloc in December 2000 and Burundi were in attendance according to Al Jazeera, Hamid Adris reporting from Abuja. Adris said his sources, his source for one of the mediation missions sent to Niger told Al Jazeera that the coup leaders when sanctions eased to aid the flow of medicines and food supplies and restorations of electricity, but it remains unclear if ECOWAS will accede to any such demands on the bloc continues to seek bourgeois reinstatement. If the coup is allowed to succeed, it could dent the image of ECOWAS and make it look weak, and that could pose a serious threat to democracy, something that leaders here are eager to avoid, as it said. Bourgeois party said the detained leaders and his family are being held under the presidential residence without electricity or running water and have gone days without fresh food. This led to the United Nations Secretary Antonio Guterres called Bourgeois his immediate unconditional release and reinstatement of head of state, a UN spokesperson said on Wednesday. With that being said, it brings us to the closure of independent pro newspaper back to Brazilian for the continuation of local and that of international news on this platform.
Thanks to you, K. Lyndon Topa, for news headlines in the news and details this morning from your end. That is the front page Africa and the Independent Pro. This is how we close down on our local news here within our country, Liberia. And we move straightly to our international news this morning. Remember, our source for today is the ABC News. So I'll bring to you the headlines and the news in details from our international source, ABC. But before we commence, let me notify my viewers watching. Samuel Davy, keep up the good work. Thanks to you. Andy Boblet Jara, happy weekend. I'm watching from Ambassador Mohamed Vanukane from Ganta City in Limba County. Thanks to you, Andy Boblet Jara, who seems to be our CEO here at Focal Online TV. We have Jeanette Gadua. I'm following from Gardnersville Town Hall Community. Thanks to you, Jeanette, for following us. Albert Tommy Sambola. He's Andy Boblet Jara. I'm also sharing screen with these gurus. Thanks to you, Abbott, for joining us this morning. And we have Abu B. Jallo. Thanks to you, Abu B. Jallo, for always being here with us. Good morning to our two presenters following live from Green Council County. And we are following you live too. We are broadcasting live here in studio from the Topo Village community along the Japanese highway. And thanks, Abu, for always following Focal Online TV. We appreciate your hard work and we appreciate all of the efforts you are applying to be with us every morning, getting quality information from the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. We have Abatumi Sambola, Andy Poplar Chara. I am downstairs having breakfast. Okay. Ambassador Mohammed Vaninkane. I am following the show from a temporary resident outside Monrovia. Thanks to all of you who watch our live video every time here on Focal Online TV. We appreciate the efforts and we appreciate your time. So we now move over to our international source. Just to notify you, Heron Heron Gaje Bromstein is watching us live now. Thanks to you. Here Gaje Bromskin for joining us on this platform, the daily edition of Inside the Queen Media. So we'll run quickly to our international news. And our source for today, please don't forget, is the ABC News. The headlines read: Police still searching for prisoner who escaped from New York hospital. Police still searching for personnel who escaped from NYC Hospital, New York City Hospital. So we will read the news in details. Authorities are still searching for Yashin Shin after he jumped out of fifth floor window and rappelled down Mount Sinai Beth Israel Hospital in New York City to invade Department of Correction authorities, according to the police. Yanshin Shin, 44, was supposedly taking a shower when he made his escape about 4:30 p.m. Wednesday. Correction officer found the bathroom window open and Shin gone. He tied towers and other linings together and scaled down the side of the hospital to the second floor, landing on an air conditioner unit, police said. From there, he used a ladder to get to the street level, hit a gap, and was last seen heading south on Second Avenue, police said. Shen was arrested last month for criminal possession of a controlled substance and had been hospitalized for some kind of heart problem. Police say Shen has a medium complexion, approximately 6 foot 3 and weight 20 and weigh 250 pounds with brown eyes and black hair. He has tattoos on his left arm and left hand. A man taken into custody earlier this afternoon in New Jersey turned out to be someone other than the escaped prisoner, police said. This is how we draw down to our conclusion on the information of newspapers and that of our international source here on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. So quickly, I will bring this to your attention. Looking at the two political parties, the two leading political parties here within our country, Liberia, that is the Unity Party and the Coalition for Democratic Change, CDC. Looking at this incident that keep occurring, as it relates to campaigning, this is a message that we will have to preach every time as media practitioner. We will say, let Liberia be peaceful. Let's prioritize the peace of our country, Liberia. There's no need to be, there's no need to be causing damages or in the name of campaigning or in the name of healing one political party. There's no need to brutalize another citizen because of two different political parties meet up. So this is just a message of peace to all of you. There's a reason why we need to prioritize the peace of our country, Liberia. Looking at our past records as a country, there is a need to uphold the peace. There is a need to continue to preach the message of peace and prioritize peace despite of our political diversities. So let me say this to you. President Weah, come October 10, will still be a former president of Liberia or a president of Liberia. Joseph Yuma Boaka is currently a former president of Liberia. Come October 10, he might be president of Liberia or still be called former vice president. What is your title? Your title, you are just a citizen. These people have participated in political seat. And the first thing that will come to them is when anything happens, they will protect themselves firstly before even rendering help to you that have been brutalized or badly beaten. So this is a message to caution you as a citizen of Liberia. There's no need to get involved into violence act. There's no need. Let us prioritize the peace of our country, Liberia. Remember, I'm always saying this. Liberia is all we have. Liberia is all we got. So, in order to prioritize the peace of our country, Liberia, we must do away with violence. We must do away with violence. I don't see a need where, um, two political parties can still campaign the same day and just you on your lane, I'm on my lane. If you are in District 9 and I'm coming in town to a headquarter there, I should be able to work smoothly. Or if I'm in District 9, you coming in town, you should be able to respect that I'm in District number 9. I see there's no logic in it. Why you see grown up people, grown up men and women who will be involved in the act of violence. These people you are fighting for, what is your benefit? Uh-huh. What is your benefit? I really want to know because I'm being so harsh this morning, and I will do that because we keep pushing a message of peace, and every day after 1 or 2 days, you see there's another comeback again. You see people fighting, you see people doing the same old thing that we are talking about. Please, we have we have other people in our country, Liberia. We have people who have the love of our country, Liberia. If you that is heading for this political seat, if you cannot cushion those who are supporting you, who will cushion them? If yourself do not prioritize the peace of Liberia, who will talk to the people to prioritize the peace of Liberia? You need to come to a place of understanding and reconciliation that this is Unity Party and this is Coalition for Democratic Change (CDC), and we are both different political parties. Despite of our differences, we must understand that peace is what must reign in our country, Liberia. Please, Honorable Doctor George Manning, we are pleading for peace in our country, Liberia. Mr. Joseph Juma Boaka, we are pleading for peace in our country, Liberia. Honorable Alexander Cummins, we are pleading for peace in our country, Liberia. We are pleading for peace because without peace, we cannot even have this election come October 10th. I don't know whether you guys are looking in that direction. I don't know whether you guys are really looking in that direction. There's no need for all of these things. For me, I feel it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. You come from to your house, you are a parent, you come from to your house just for you to gather in the street to form acts of violence, for your children to be watching, or for other nations to be capturing and saying Liberia is in a violent act because of campaigning. It doesn't make sense. What is the reflection we have out there? What is the reflection we have out there? I know someone will say other countries can do the same. We are not comparing other countries with ours. We are just saying here as media practitioner that prioritize the peace of our country, Liberia. Despite of our ups and downs, Liberia is what we have. And because of that, we will continue to protect the peace of our country, Liberia. If you are a senator, if you are a representative, if you are House stakeholders, continue to preach a message of peace. Guide your people, talk to them. If there's a fight that will cause your campaign to be ruined for that day, let your campaign be ruined for that day. Avoid any act of violence. That's why we are saying. So please, this is a message, a peaceful message to you out there, candidates, aspirants, representatives who are aiming for political seat come October 10th. Please prioritize the peace of our country, Liberia. Prioritize the peace. Without peace, you will not get to that political seat that you want to get. So if you don't prioritize the peace of Liberia, you bring chaos in our country, Liberia, we will not vote. And obviously, we will not vote, we will not elect you. So there's no need for you to even chant battle cry when it comes to violence act. There's no need. Let us preach the message of peace. President Weah is a good man, he's a kind man, he's a clergy man. Yes, we need peace. We need a message of peace. We need an act of peace. Joseph Yuma Boaka is a clergyman as well. He's well respected in our country, Liberia. We need to preach the message of peace. Alexander Cummins, we need the message of peace. Guide your people to avoid stigma, to avoid violence acts that will bring stigma on you guys. Please, we are begging you guys. I don't know how to say it, but I've just spoken my mind. We need peace in our country, Liberia. Liberia is all we have, and the peace of our country, Liberia, is worth living. So we demand peace. Please, Kelly, not so far, do you have something to say so we can wrap up?
Yeah, my message that I have to say today is just in line with the first statement you have made earlier on. Yesterday, the president visited two districts, District 9 and District 10. For me, I knew that the fact that Unity Party had scheduled an occasion, a schedule of press conference in District 9, for me, I saw it as a more chaotic scene, and that was clearly dramatized by the fight of the violent scene that went on yesterday. I am still wondering as to how the National Elections Commission can be able to clearly regulate the campaign activities or the political rallies of every political party.
The
So that
timetable, right?
eh?
The timetable.
Yeah,
Yes.
maybe you can come up with a timetable
Yes. A schedule.
and say X party X
Yes.
will be going at so and so point in time, and because of party X present at this point in time, party A should not be at this point in time. You understand?
Yeah.
So, yeah, because we can be, cautioning people to maintain the peace, then we continue to see these disaster or horrible things in our country. So this is how I would just tell them.
Thank you, Kaylin. So far, we join our voices together as media practitioner here on Focal Online TV. So please preach the message of peace, Mr. Political Leader, Madam Political Leader. Please preach the message of peace and act on it, and do away with violence. Do away with violence. This is how we close down. Thanks to Henry Kaji Bronskin. Thank God it's Friday. I'm quietly following. Thanks for following. Kaji Bronskin, we appreciate you. This is how we close down here on the delayed edition of Inside the Print Media. I'm saying happy weekend to you folks. Enjoy yourself. This life is all we have. When we are gone, the members will live on. So enjoy yourself and do away with peace and do away with violence. Sorry, let us prioritize the peace we have in our country, Liberia, and let us see peace as the first message to preach every time we have an encounter with someone. So this is how we close down. Happy weekend. Thank God it's Friday. We're gonna enjoy ourselves today. Kaylin, not so far. You're gonna enjoy yourself too. Okay, folks, thank you. My name is Greg Financy Pie, your presenter on the delayed edition of Inside the Print Media, and I'm being co-assisted by my co-presenter. His name is Have a nice day. Have a nice week, and God bless you. This is how we close down on the delayed edition of Inside the Print Media.
Focal TV. Bringing you innovation to broadcasting, news, views, comments, and analysis of